Welcome to Real Quick with Gio and Giovanni. I am your host. Happy Thursday. And the election still continues to let Americans get consumed in the controversy. The major news outlets, Facebook, Twitter, and Google, aka Alphabet, are all reporting that Vice President Biden as the president-elect for the 2020 election. Those who oppose, or rightly so, are the conservative news outlets and pundits. Why do they oppose? Because nowhere in the U.S. Constitution does it state the news media will declare a presidential winner. On December 14th, delegates from each state will go to the Electoral College and vote for the next president of the United States. Your average uninformed voter doesn't understand their history. These voters' school either skipped over the part in civics class or the students were not paying attention, which is why so many on the left or left-leaning politicians want to only go by the popular vote. If Joe Biden and the two other Democrats running for Georgia's Senate win, it will be the case as more seats will be added to the Supreme Court. You can count on it. Which leads to today's main topic. Newsmax will not call the election for Biden. Newsmax, a conservative-leaning news outlet, not very old, and recently picked up a surge of Fox News viewers after FNC called the race for Biden, starting with Virginia and then Arizona on election night, will not declare Vice President Biden the president-elect. And good for them. And here's why. In an article published today on Newsmax, their point is that this was an extremely close election in which one of the contestants, President Donald Trump, is challenging the results in as many as 5 states in races that are close as 1% or less. Under such circumstances, if it's Newsmax's view of the votes, and their respective states should decide the election, not media companies. Arizona has 11 electoral votes. Georgia has 16 electoral votes. Wisconsin has 10 electoral votes. And Pennsylvania has 20 electoral votes. And they're stating that Professor Alan Dershowitz sees a possible scenario where Biden nor Trump wins more than 269 electoral votes. This could happen if states fail to certify the electors and they do not vote in the electoral or at the electoral college in December. Pennsylvania is ripe for this type of challenge. Okay. It should question you why the mainstream press and big tech all are pulling for Biden to win. Why Facebook and Twitter are blocking or censoring posts. Why Democrats are trying to desperately to push this election forward as fast as they can. Why Biden has an, quote, office of the president-elect. Why did the Democrats call foul when Trump won in 2016 and continued to call foul for 4 years? Why the news media called rioters, quote, peaceful protesters, and Trump supporters both before and after the election were angry and causing harm. Why anchors like Don Lemon are calling for Trump supporters to get on the, quote, right side of history, and why AOC is making a list of every Trump supporter and will demonize them for voting for the President Trump going forward, and why big tech is censoring its users. It's the power that is why. AOC, or aka Sandy, called it a few years back when she said in a town hall, quote, we don't want your money. We want the power. In my way of how she actually talks. Money only goes so far. With power, it's infinite. This means the Green New Deal will be passed, universal income redistribution of wealth, guns confiscated, Second Amendment abolished, the First Amendment will be abolished, and private land will be seized. Don't believe me? Start paying close attention to the left on cable news. They are more out front with their reimagining of America than ever before. This is why Senator Chuck Schumer wants to, quote, change America if the Dems win Georgia's runoff Senate race in January. These should be some concern in the minds of Americans. This is not to be depressed about, but to question who is giving them their news and what they are reading and hearing. Don't take my word for it. Do the reading yourself. I would encourage, if you have not already, to look for alternate sources for your social media and news. The major networks, including Fox, have lost trust in American people. It's so obvious. The more than never, ever, the Democrat Party, the news media, and big tech are working hand in hand. The way to stop this mess is to stop listening and viewing these outlets. Come together as a nation, as they have pinned us against one another. I'll talk more about that some other time. In the meantime, the election will continue. Votes are still being counted in Georgia. Our votes are still being counted, I should say, and in Georgia, it's a recount. Senate and representative races are also being counted. And believe it or not, the Republicans have a chance to pick up 11 more seats and come closer to taking control of the House. 2 Georgia Senate runoffs will take place on January 9th. The country is looking towards that state on who will lead the Senate. Dems want people to take residence in Georgia so they can vote. That is highly illegal. And the Republicans are calling out the Dems who want to defund the police and bring in a socialist agenda, which actually this strategy's worked in electing many new Republicans across the country. This election is far from over. I'd like to know your thoughts about what I'm saying. Have a question? I'll answer it. Send me a message through anchor.fm and find me on YouTube by typing in Gio and Giovanni Presents. Leave a question or comment below. Also, find me on Parler.com at Gio and Giovanni, all one word. Real Quick with Gio and Giovanni can be found on anchor.fm and all major podcast platforms. Become a supporter of this podcast with a small monthly donation to help sustain future episodes of Real Quick with Gio and Giovanni by going to anchor.fm/Real Quick with Gio and Giovanni. Thank you for tuning in to Real Quick with Gio and Giovanni. Have a great day. May God bless you.